What was Pegasus and what significance does it play, and how is it relevant in the world of gang stalking and targeting individuals? Ladies and gentlemen, get your popcorn, drinks and snacks ready. This is a true story that is anything short of intriguing and may take a moment or two for most of us to truly understand the impact and similarities of what you are seeing. Be sure to stay tuned to the end for a surprising twist and virtual proof that gang stalking and targeting of individuals can and does exist. We are about to explore this true-to-life story of this surveillance software created by a company in the Middle East that, when put into the wrong hands, became a deadly and vicious game of espionage, deception, torture and even death. We bring this story to you, which was originally uncovered by and published via a collaborative effort of several well-respected investigative media outlets worldwide. We believe that this story tells a tale that could very well be a catalyst for the proliferation of the phenomenon of gang stalking and targeting individuals in the 21st century as we know it. Let's be perfectly clear, the gang stalking and targeting of individuals has been around in one form or another for well over 20 years. But, with the recent developments in technology, there has been a devastating surge of activity and ease of implementation. We believe that the Pegasus Project documentary conveys sincere points that may have inadvertently played a critical role in the proliferation of this heinous crime of malicious engineering known as gang stalking, to the extent which we may never know. Decide for yourself. The Pegasus Project highlights the potential for governments and entities to use advanced spyware, like Pegasus, to monitor and surveil individuals, including activists, journalists, dissidents and others, including targeted individuals, without their knowledge or consent. The striking similarities of the tactics depicted in the Pegasus Project documentary are eerily similar to those used in the world of gang stalking and targeting of individuals. It emphasizes the broader issue of surveillance technology's reach and its potential misuse, leading to concerns about privacy, human rights violations, and the need for regulation and oversight in the surveillance industry. As many of you know, gang stalking is organized harassment campaigns involving multiple bad actors fulfilling a variety of roles. Those of us who have or are currently being gang stalked and targeted are subjected to organized, intrusive surveillance, psychological manipulation, and harassment. For this content producer, it is at 15 years and counting. As a targeted individual, our knowledge for the reasons we have been chosen for harassment or surveillance are varied, often attributing our experiences to government agencies or shadowy organizations, and ordinary citizenry who now feel as though they have been empowered to bestow misery and torture upon another for absolutely no valid reason, other than they feel rejected, marginalized, discontent, psychopathic, narcissistic and cowardly, and this is their way of giving back to the world. Those who participate and or support gang stalking and targeting of individuals are people who would rather live vicariously through the pain and sorrow of others rather than take responsibility for their own lives. Take a deep dive into their personality traits or mental health disorder thereof and you will find this to be evident. Below is a brief synopsis of what Pegasus was, including a link to the documentary that chronicles the project's demise. View the video, then decide for yourself whether gang stalking and targeting of individuals is or could be a real occurrence. Whether you've seen the presentation before or not, when you watch the video, pay special attention to part 2 of the documentary at 17.41. This paints a true-to-life, in-your-face scenario of how and why so many participate in this vulgar and decrepit exercise in control and malicious social anarchy. The Pegasus Project, named after the notorious spyware tool developed by the Israeli company NSO Group, began as a covert program intended for legitimate surveillance by governments and law enforcement agencies. However, it soon took a dark turn. In July 2021, an international consortium of journalists, including The Washington Post, The Guardian, and others, uncovered the widespread abuse of Pegasus. They received a leaked list of potential targets and discovered that governments were using this tool to infiltrate the digital lives of activists, journalists, and dissidents around the world. The abuse of Pegasus was staggering in its scope. It allowed governments to remotely access victims' smartphones, enabling them to read messages, record calls, and even activate cameras and microphones, thereby unleashing a torrent of anonymous retaliatory acts on unsuspecting and vulnerable individuals in their fight for human rights and social justice. Those targeted included human rights activists, investigative journalists, and political opponents, often living under oppressive regimes. The consequences were devastating, with victims facing covert harassment, imprisonment, or even physical violence and death. The Pegasus Project highlighted the chilling reality of state-sponsored surveillance and raised critical questions about the balance between security and individual privacy. As mentioned earlier, the link to the Frontline documentary on Pegasus is in the description and About section. Frontline PBS Pegasus. Again, be sure to stop the video and pay special attention to the timeline starting at Part 2 of the documentary at 1741. This is your empirical evidence regarding the more than probable existence of gang stalking and targeting of individuals. Please like, subscribe, share, and comment. Thank you for watching and God bless.